Hey, you guys, I'm live. If you guys are watching, come chat with me. Face, huh? I brought my snacks. Got my little here. Got my cup, you guys. Which actually, technically, I probably should not have this cup because you guys can buy my merch. But I have a completely different design, and this design here is actually from an old YouTube channel that I had when I started back in I guess it was 2018. And I started with content creation, but this here, if you guys can see it, which is so funny, that is from my previous YouTube channel back in the day where I was doing more like how-to stuff. Which I still gave you guys some how-to content, but it was dealing more like with business, with TikTok, stuff like that. So if you guys ever want more of that type of content, I hope that you guys, let me know. But otherwise, a lot of time, I'm just going to stick to the broader, which is entertainment. I'm a celebrity entertainment content type of stuff. Okay. But yeah, you guys. So what's going on, you guys? What's good? What are we up to? What are we up to this Saturday? I hope you guys are doing something fun. I'm not going to be on here for too long, but I wanted to stick to what I said, which was me basically just covering my previous videos, not waiting until literally the end of the year to, start covering topics, even though it was fun, and I still might do something similar to that. Even though it was fun, I don't want to do what I did at the end of last year where I had to go live I think it was 4 consecutive days that I went live of trying to cover video by video by video. This is a nice way where, I use a Friday or Saturday, or it might be a Saturday, Sunday, or something like that, just to kind of recap. Since now I'm putting out more content, this is a nice way to just kind of recap my previous videos. Okay, you guys. So I actually covered a lot of content in my last video. I still might kind of revisit some because there were some topics that I only lightly touched upon. But I want to know. Oh, I wish you know what, you guys, I got to get more I'd have to get more tech savvy with these lives because I'm curious. Is there a way for me to put up a poll or something like that? But I'm just curious, for how much longer do you guys think we're going to be able to keep pulling out Cat Williams content? From the interview, he covered so much. He talked about so many different celebrities and comedians. For how much longer do you guys think we will still be able to still dig into that? Or I shouldn't even say we, because now I'm speaking on behalf of content creators, but I'm just saying in general, the public, us watching, videos that are covering that. For how long are celebrities going to be reacting to Cat Williams' interview? I think it was yesterday or today, if I'm not mistaken. I think Joe Rogan, he said that he would have Cat on his show. I don't know if someone said that, or if it was Cat that said that Joe Rogan wouldn't have him on there, or someone was saying, I bet you wouldn't have Cat on or something. But anyway, it was either today or yesterday that Joe Rogan said that he would be, happy to do an interview with Cat Williams and was willing to do it whatever time Cat wanted. He said it could be 3 a.m. and he'll open up the studio for him. I think that would be a really cool type of interview to watch. Joe Rogan, he doesn't mind asking sometimes those more harder, I won't even say harder, but more controversial type of questions, topics, right? Kind of has a certain grittiness, and we know Cat Williams does not hold anything back. So I think that would, like, them coming together like that, I think would be like a really, really good interview to watch on his podcast. Personally, you guys, I'm actually waiting. I think, what do you guys think? Do you guys think it's time for Cat Williams to like have his own platform outside of comedy, right? We know he tours, we know he does his stand-up, but like I'm saying like a literal like platform that he could be on and just like talk. Like I think the ratings would be through the roof. You guys see my cup? You guys see me? Isn't that hilarious, you guys? But yeah, this was from many moons ago. This was from years ago when I first started on YouTube. I think my channel, no, I think I might have renamed it or something like that, but I called it the How To Diva because I did a lot of how-to stuff, you guys. And I had some videos that kind of went viral a little bit, but that was before I was actually in your face, in your space. Okay, I was trying to like do videos where I could just, like people could actually read, read whatever it is that I'm trying to like instruct them to do. And I might have music playing in the background, but I was like trying to do that type of content. But turns out that is so incredibly time consuming. And you guys don't worry, I'm going to timestamp this live so you guys can get past. Right now, I'm just kind of like, whatever. I'm letting the live warm up and doing like a little story time. But we are going to get into some of the more like, whatever, heavier topics, celebrity topics and stuff like that. But back to me starting on YouTube. Like I said, when I started, I was a how-to diva. I had some videos that went viral, but it was more so on like hair care and like those sort of things, hair growth, hair care, hair growth. And it was oddly enough, like it actually went viral. There were a lot of men that actually watched and like was subscribed, and I wasn't on the camera at all, but it was just like instructions and stuff like that. It was stuff on like beard growth, hair growth. Yeah. But if you guys ever want me to revisit some of that stuff, let me know, because I might do here and there. We'll kind of play with some content, but overall, I think we should keep it at what it is. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, but I was just saying those type of videos, like literally, I would have a video, you guys, real deal. I would have a video that would be like 3 minutes, and it would take 3 hours to edit, to research. Well, you got to research the information, have it written out, get the frames, edit it, and all that stuff. And it would literally take, sometimes longer than that, and it would be reduced down to like 3 minutes of content. So it was a lot. Not that I would never do that form of, doing content videos. I think now there's so many different types of like softwares and things like that you could use that would probably like expedite it, speed it up. But I would spend a ridiculous amount of time. They'd be like little masterpieces though that would do well. People would write that they found the information helpful. It did XYZ for them, but it was very time consuming. And like I say, by the end of 4 or 5 hours on doing the video, maybe I could squeeze out 3 to 4 minutes. No lie. It was not like, yeah. But anyway, so, and then I'm like, why am I not like in front of the camera anyway? It's easier, it's quicker. Like, no, yeah, we're not doing that. But yeah, you guys, I hope you guys are doing something fun with your Saturday. I could do more story times here and there, right? Use the weekend. Right now, I'm just kind of shooting the breeze with you guys because I'm letting the live warm. Covered a lot of content yesterday, you guys. Yesterday I covered a lot of content. I think if I'm not mistaken, you guys, I might have actually covered all of the videos that I had posted. I think possibly. But it's all good. I covered the Omarion. If you guys have not seen that video, you guys should check it out. I might actually put it into the community chat. Just as a little reminder for you guys to check it out. I know that the topic itself is kind of hard to digest, and I don't even myself like to listen to a lot of that. But in general, like I said, I do think it is a necessary level of discomfort for us to all feel, but to like be aware, because it's not really so much for us as it is like for just like the awareness of, you know, people in general. Like I say, you may have, I don't know, maybe you want to get your kids into entertainment. You think they're super cute, great personalities, you know, and they would just be perfect. So you start getting them headshots and all that kind of stuff because you want to get them into commercials and stuff. Like, to me, this is stuff that is necessary just for people to be aware of, as well as, like I say, you know, I talk about like the teenagers and the you know, the teenagers and the younger people that really are like very talented but very like naive, but they just want to be heard. They just want to see if they can run into that music exec or get their music listened to by an A&R person, you know? Not knowing, or I shouldn't say completely not knowing, but maybe they're not fully aware of all that goes into, you know, being successful, being a star. So that's really, like I say, why I kind of put out that content. But I do want to raise this question, you guys. Like I say, even if you guys are not joining me right now on this live, and that's perfectly okay, more than likely, a lot of you guys are going to catch this on the rewind. My question is, and I'm just curious about this, I think that it is, you know, important in general, like I say, that a lot of this stuff comes out. Like, you know, I think a lot of things that we're just now being made aware of because the technology has probably been going on in the industries, Hollywood, music industry, higher levels, different sectors, you know, whatever, all the way up. But I'm just curious, like, when I look at like other channels and other sources that, you know, also cover celebrity, I guess you could say celebrity gossip or celebrity, you know, like pointing out the deviant characters, you know, the shady characters that are in music and Hollywood and stuff like that. I'm just curious, why? And I'm not really trying to necessarily make this a black or white thing, but like literally, I'm even looking at my own content. But my content is not different from all these other like channels and you know, media outlets and stuff that's covering like the you know, whatever, the shady behavior in Hollywood or the music industry. Why are only people of color? Like, I'm just curious. I'm wondering, because I know it's not just happening in hip hop. I think that hip hop is a very popular genre, and because it's popular, then, you know, like, it's just popular. But like, what about rock music and stuff? I know you can't tell me like this is not happening in industries like, you know, what about Tame Impala and stuff? I love that group too, by the way, you guys. But like, what about, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what about these other genres of like music? Like, is it only the Puff Daddies and the Rick Rosses and the or I should say the Diddies, whatever he's calling himself now. You know, the Diddies and the this and the that. You know, like I recently covered the Chris Stokes and stuff like that. And those are stories that really need to get out. But I'm just curious, like, is this not happening in the rock music industry, even in Hollywood? Okay, we talk a lot about Will Smith, and but that was kind of like a big thing that happened. But the Will Smith, um, Chris Rock, Oscar slap. We talk about Jada. We talk about like a lot of that stuff. But I'm not hearing. You know, is it because they're tighter lipped? Why is it that we're not really hearing about like we're not hearing about like well, we hear a little bit about him, but Leonardo DiCaprio or you know, like what's happening? I mean, is it, you know, I think all people are interesting. Is it just because, you know, whatever, we're more sassy or more like what oh, that's great. I'm so glad the light just got a little bit lighter. I hope it stays just the way that it is so you guys can see me. But I'm just curious, like, why is it that white Hollywood, you know, a lot of like rock music, that kind of like genre is not really being pointed out too much at all. Like when I look at the bigger channels on YouTube, other platforms and stuff like that that are covering like the latest, they're not really, I mean, we could look at the Kardashians. Okay, maybe, I guess. But outside of like the Kardashians, like there's not really, you know, why is it that they're more tight-lipped? Is it because they're not as interesting? Or like I'm just curious, like why are we only pinpointing? Like we know about the Epstein stuff, right? We know about that. And we know about the list of names that have, you know, that are being released. But I'm just curious, like, why is it that we're not like, and I did post a video. Posted a video. It had Epstein on there. It had Bill Clinton. It had Bill Gates. It didn't get many views. Now that could have been due to YouTube. It could have been on YouTube's behalf of like not liking certain words or certain topics, which I do believe happens. And certain like videos and topics are suppressed if it has certain keywords. But I'm just curious, like, is it that we're just not interested? Or is it that they're more tighter lipped and they keep their stuff a lot more like secret and it's not getting out? Or is it just that we're not covering it? But like literally, you can see my content and I'm proud of my content. Like I say, I think that, you know, not to what am I trying to say? I'm not trying to, you know, go off the topic, you know, too much. But like I said, when I initially started the channel, it was around celebrity. It was, you know, like I say, I'm still a Michael Jackson fan, but I initially started the channel in like being in awe and, you know, celebration of celebrities, I guess you could say. But like I say, in covering and creating content and really digging into like Hollywood and stuff like that, like I could not, I'm not saying there's nothing positive about Hollywood or the music industry or whatever. I'm not saying that at all. But the more that I delve into that content, it's like, it to me, it's almost like not real. It's not, you know, it's fake almost just to like just cover, oh, the latest, you know, whatever gown that Beyonce was wearing, or oh yay, you know, the $20 million home that I don't know, Rihanna and ASAP just bought. Like just covering that on a very like surface level to me is just not, it's not right, considering that there's so much that is getting out that, you know, really kind of touches on like what's happening, what goes on in Hollywood. So that's why my, you know, but like I said, I'm very proud of my content, and I'm proud that you know, I am able to do as much as I can do to shine a light on just a lot of types of personally, and it's not to, I guess, not to get too conspiracy theory-ish, but I do feel that it's not just the music industry, it's not just Hollywood. I think it goes all the way up and up and up. And that's just not, for me, like I say, something I think is just isolated to like the Diddy's, or you know what I mean? Like it's something that's way beyond that. Oh no, don't say that. Don't you say that. So silly. Hey there. I know you are not on the island. Quit playing with me. Um, but I hope that you are enjoying your weekend, enjoying your holiday. Like I say, you guys that are not actually catching this while it's live, you guys can still, later check out the live chat, and you guys will be able to see like when I'm going back and forth. Um, that is hilarious. No, I know you're not. I know you're not. If you are, you better SOS. Send, for real. Uh-uh. But since you're bringing that up about the island, and that's kind of goes back to what I was saying, I just feel like even like when I try to cover like that type of content, a lot of it, like I say, I do feel like certain keywords. I don't, from what I can see, YouTube doesn't even like me to use the word or type in the word industry. It does not even like the word Hollywood. Like if I put those topics anywhere in like a thumbnail, the views go down. It's just not being seen. Wait, you say, wait. I'm sorry. You say, no, I am. It's really a thing. Look it up. I will. I sure will. Unfortunately, I know it's all the industry, industry secrets. Yeah. Okay, well, I will definitely look it up if it's really, really a thing. If so, be safe out there. If be safe. But okay, so you're saying that you do, all the industry, entertainment industry secrets. I know that's right. They block you. Yeah, they do. So like when and it's not just and I have so many TikTok stories, you guys. Matter of fact, I think I might share that. I have so many but yeah, like YouTube will suppress, like I say, a certain, like within the algorithm, there's certain keywords that it just does not like, unless you're like a really huge channel. If you're a really huge channel, it's still gonna suppress it, but because you have so many views, like, or I should say you have so many subscribers, then it automatically is going to like kind of kick up a little bit enough to possibly, maybe if it gets enough shares and stuff, then it kind of gets pushed out. But YouTube, TikTok will suppress your work. It will suppress a lot of content, because it does have certain, like what it likes, what it doesn't like. But like I was saying, I was just questioning, because not just on my channel, but on a lot of larger channels that cover, I feel like snacking, you guys, but I'm gonna get like, I don't want to talk while I eat, but I'll eat this in a minute. But I was just saying that a lot of larger channels, not just my channel, but a lot of larger channels that cover like celebrity, I don't want to say celebrity gossip, even the ones that are pointing out like the wrongdoers in Hollywood, deviant behaviors and stuff like that. I do not see, I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to make it a black or white thing or whatever, but I'm only seeing people of color that's being covered. You could even look at my own content. And I'm just curious. I'm wondering, like, is it, that others are a little bit more tight-lipped? They know how to like keep their secrets a little bit more, they're less messy, or like, what is it? Do we find people of color more entertaining and really want to know what's going on? Like, why is that? I'm just curious. Okay, well, I have to check you out. Is that your account names on Facebook, or is this your account names on YouTube? Do you have like several accounts? Wait, if your message exposes lies and you can't be bought. I agree. But yeah, even Facebook as well. Facebook is, in my opinion, is even like worse in a sense than YouTube and TikTok. Because Facebook is very like, I've had my account hacked several times. I've quit, gotten off of it, got back on there. I've had people on my account that I never added. I don't even know who they are, and there's no option to like remove them on Facebook. So that is just creepy to me. So like a lot of social media, even though like I'm on the social media platform, I just don't typically do social media. I don't. But like, you know, if I am on here, I consider this like not just like business, but I consider it to be like a creative outlet because this is what I enjoy doing. I was doing content creation before I even knew I was a content creator. A lot of times I would help other people with their projects and things they were trying to get going, because I just naturally, it was just something that I did. And then I'm like, shoot, you know, I didn't realize like, hey, girl, you're a content creator. This is what you're doing. Yep. Yeah, you're probably right. I agree. I agree. Yep. It's just weird. Like it just, I don't know. It's exactly like what you're saying. And I think it's I don't know, it's just creepy. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I just like I say, I have my feelings about certain, sorry, talk while I'm eating though. But a girl's got a snack. This is what I'm eating. This is not, I'm not no affiliation. I don't have, not doing any marketing. This is really good. You guys can see the vitamins, the minerals on here, but it's just packed with a lot of really, if you guys can see it, it's packed with a lot of really good stuff. If you could get, oh wait, thanks, good, I'm glad you could. Cause I got food in my mouth, I'm eating them. Nice little snacky poo. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I was just saying that this is something you have to kind of get used to the taste. Super duper healthy, like super healthy. It has a lot of vitamin D, calcium, iron, potassium, vitamin E, phosphorus, zinc, copper, bunch of stuff. Not going to read it all, but the cacao chocolate with the whole bean, really good stuff. Got it from Whole Foods, you guys. I'm sure they probably have it everywhere, but this brand also has some really good stuff. But yeah, just to go back to the different accounts and stuff. But like I said, it just really makes me wonder. It just really makes me wonder, like, you know, like what is going on with that? That's just like I say, kind of creepy to me. You know, back in the day, I used to be on it quite a bit, but I was always known to like get off, hop back on, stay off, close it out, get a new account, not really on there, get on there. But like I say, for the most part, I've had that happen to my account several times. And I'm just like, I'm good. Weird, creepy. I'm like, literally, I have people on here I don't know. I never added. No clue, excuse me, no clue who they are, with no option to remove them from my account. I'm good. I'm good. And then too, like I said, I've never really been like social media. You know, some people are. It's just whatever's your thing. It's just for me, I just never really like. Most people I notice I could stay away from like social media for a year. When I come back, people are still posting the same stuff. They're still talking about the same stuff, posting, you know, and there's nothing wrong with it, but I'm just like, you're not really missing anything by missing out, basically, is what I'm saying. Wait, we say I can tell you so much if only you want to read. Wait, keep doing this. God is telling you to do. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Good words. Good words. Like I say, with this channel, and you guys, like I say, that are not live, you guys have to go down to the chat. And it actually, they changed it. So you have to kind of like toggle over. If you toggle over, then you can see it'll have like chat, but if you toggle over, it'll say live chat. And if you go to live chat, you guys will be able to see all the great comments and know like when I'm bouncing back conversation, you guys will know. But I was just, agreeing and saying thank you. Great words. I appreciate that. But yeah, that's really kind of like the stance that I took with it. But you guys can see, not that I can't ever post lighter type of content, because I do. Matter of fact, what's coming up tonight, actually, in the next hour, I was laughing all through it. It was the comedian Godfrey that is reacting to the Cat Williams interview. Hilarious. He's very funny. But I was just saying, not that I can't ever post lighter type of content on YouTube. It's just I felt like only, it was a little while there where I was afraid to post anything negative. Well, not even negative, but I guess a non-praisal of Beyonce or Jay-Z. I didn't want the Beehive to come get me. But then I'm like, you know what? Excuse me. But then I'm like, you know what? Whatever. Come see me. Okay. Because not to get all bad, but I'm just like, well, whatever. It's a lot of people get behind the keyboard. They feel real tough. Whatever. They just have to do it, because I felt like I say, the more that I delve into the, this genre of topics, which is celebrity Hollywood. Now, maybe it would have been different a decade ago or 2 decades ago, before the, information was so shareable on our phones and stuff, where we didn't know as much and we only knew what we saw on Entertainment Tonight, or something that's like real, like, ooh, the Oscars. But now we know way too much to just keep it at that level. It's not, it's not right. Yeah, you're right. And then half of the stuff, just like what you're saying, you're right, they are. A lot of the information is not even like, in a sense, you could say it is fake. It's bought, because some of the celebrities or the big wigs, the group, the powers that be, have like ownership in a lot of these media companies, and they can kind of really condense what gets out there, or what's said or what's covered, or whatever, you know what I mean? So, it's ups to it and it's downs to this information age, in a way. I do kind of miss when things were a little bit more simple, and we didn't have all this social media where every minute we're on our phones, or we're out, and even when we're out, we could be out at a restaurant or out with friends, family, whoever, and we still like trying to like do stuff. I do semi miss back in the day before we were so like linked in, but it is what it is. It is what it is. It's what it is. But to go back to the topics, I know I had put in there about Gene Deal, Jaguar, Wright. Both of them. I know Gene Deal, he's retired. Jaguar, Wright, she's been out of the industry. Both of them, like, really incredibly brave, gutsy, to share and say a lot of stuff that they say. But I think that's what made the Cat Williams interview like 10 times is like a big deal, is because Cat is still like active. Like, I would not say that Cat Williams at all is at the bottom of his game. Like, I would say Cat Williams is, as they keep saying, he has the juice. It's like, it's just like, I don't know. Imagine go walk right into that group, or, whatever. You're talking mess and you got to go right into the office and sit amongst all the people. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even mess, because I personally feel that a lot of what Kat said seems to hold a lot of water. Like no one has called him a liar. They might have tried to clap back in other ways, but no one has called Cat Williams a liar at all. But he is very gutsy, very brave. He might be a little man, but he has a pair, okay? Because he is not afraid to say what he got to say at all. At all. Not even a little bit. But it still links it over. I'm still asking the question. I'm still wondering, you guys. Still, great stuff is being brought out. It needs to be brought out. But why is it that I'm not hearing about the Leonardo DiCaprios, the Meryl Streeps, even that freak Kevin Spacey? A little bit came out about him. A little bit came out about Charlie Sheen. But like, that's it. Like, it's like a ripple. It's not even like really making any waves. It's like a little pebble in the water, and then everything cools out. Okay, that's what's up. Hey there. You say you read? All right, that's what's up. Thanks for joining me, you guys, on the chat and making my live. Like I say, for you guys that are not joining me right now at this moment, whenever you guys do, I don't care, tomorrow, next week, whenever, do check out the live chat, and you guys can read the comments. But yeah, like I was saying with Kevin Spacey, they covered him a little bit. They covered, if you guys don't know who I'm talking about, he's the actor that played in, what was it, American Beauty. He played in a bunch of other stuff, but like he, big actor, freak nasty. Well, okay, I'll say this. I'm sorry. Allegedly a freak nasty. Stuff comes out that he's done all this stuff, but it's like literally like nothing. And that's why I'm just saying, I'm just curious because, I know on my channel, on a lot of other channels, when you're looking at the celebrity gossip and you're looking at not just celebrity gossip, but like even the channels that are dedicated to pointing out the deviant bad behavior and stuff like that, it's only, I'm not seeing, like I said, I'm not seeing the Leonardo DiCaprios, I'm not seeing the Meryl Streeps, I'm not seeing the Kevin Spaceys or the, like it's just seems to me to be contained to like people of color. And I'm just curious about that. I don't know if it's because like, rap or hip hop is popular. I don't know if it's because I don't know. But I'm glad that that's being pointed out. But I'm just hoping that you guys can't tell me that it's not happening in the genre of rock music. That it's only happening in hip hop and rap. I believe, I think it's a big contrast because rappers are supposed to be, or a lot of them are kind of like, they're thugged out, they're so rough, they're so tough. So to find out that they're being, as one of my subscribers wrote, diddled, he said diddled by Diddy, which, it's just, it's funny, but it shouldn't be funny, but it was funny. To find out that these like rough, tough, rappers, I'm the thug, are bending over, touching their toes, it's a big contrast. So I don't know if that's why we are like, it's so much attention that's just being brought to hip hop or R&B or whatever. I'm just curious because I know that it, or I shouldn't say I know, I just believe that it cannot be contained just to those genres. You telling me they not nothing happened with I don't want to keep using Tame Impala because I actually love that group. But what about the rock music? What about what happened with Nirvana and stuff? I'm just saying what, and I'm not even speaking on like the level and all that. I'm not talking about that. But I'm saying behind what they may have had to do to get the contract, paying that contract, or get the big show, or I'm just, because it's like mum's the word when it comes to white Hollywood. Mom's the word when it comes to rock music and alternative music and these other different genres of music. And I find it hard to believe that it's just Diddy and it's just that industry. I think that awareness, I hope that awareness gets brought on all like fronts. You know what I mean? Like not just where we think, oh, it's only happening to rappers. It's good to know that it's happening to rappers. So when these young, talented men, women, whatever, that think that if they could just be heard or seen, they could know like what comes with it. Are you willing to do this? Are you willing to do that? Because that's what's going to come with that contract. It's good to know. Excuse me. Sorry, you guys. It's good to know. Again, you guys, I'm just showing my little mug, which is so funny. I shouldn't even show it because it's not like you guys could purchase it. This is not in my merch. I do have merch. I actually do have merch, and I do have a mug that has the picture from my channel now. But this is like my throwback. I'm giving it a hug. This is my throwback for when I really first started in content creation. And this was like my first like merch. And I still keep it. And it's hilarious because it has my face on it. And I'm like holding a glass and I'm like, cheers, subscribe. And then it's on both sides. But yeah, this is kind of like sentimental to me. So I keep it. But sorry, you guys, I digress. But yeah, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying is that I'm hoping and I want to know if or when we're going to start, you know, maybe it can't just be shown all over. Maybe we got to start in sections. Maybe we just start in the hip hop, rap music, you know, focus. We're only focusing on Oprah. We're only focusing on Tyler Perry. But you telling me that's not happening with Steven Spielberg and all these other big ones that we don't even know their names, that are really running a lot like, and I'm not saying not to focus on Oprah or Tyler. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I feel like it's making me wonder, where's everybody else? You know what I mean? Like, it's just making me wonder, like, it can't just be Oprah. It can't just be Tyler Perry. It can't just be Diddy. You know what I mean? Like, it can't just be isolated to hip hop music. It can't, you know what I mean? Like, you know, what's going on? Even Diddy, one of the main people that he would hang out with, I shouldn't say the main, but we see him a lot with Leonardo DiCaprio. We heard about Kevin Spacey, but that was so quick when we heard about Kevin Spacey. But he has like 15 counts of like stuff of like boys, and I don't know if it's some girls too, but coming out saying like that they had been mistreated. You know, I'll use that word because there's certain words I can't use. By Kevin Spacey, big Hollywood actor, you know, whatever, A-list actor, whatever, you know, Caucasian, but we're not hearing like it's not. So my hope, like I say, I'm proud of the content that I put out. As long as I'm able to, I'm going to continue to put that type of content out. Like I say, not all of my content is going to be hard to digest, so to speak. Meaning like every topic got to be real heavy or anything like that. But I'm not going to, you know, per se shy away from certain topics because it doesn't show a celebrity in the best light, is how I feel. And like I say, even though I've, since elementary school, have always loved me some Chris Tucker, you know, you guys know I'm already a Michael Jackson fan, whatever, but I'm not gonna not cover, which I already have a video out that had Chris Tucker responding back at Williams. You guys can check that one out. I think I uploaded that video. Oh, excuse me, guys. 3 days ago. Excuse me, I uploaded that video 3 days ago. But like I was saying, I'm just like, I'm not gonna lie, like I did have that moment of like, do I want to put this? But I'm like, no, no, we're not gonna. I think that's we're not gonna not put out information that needs to be put out just because like, oh well, that's my favorite actor, or oh I have a lot of content. Like, no, like it is what it is. It is what it is. Um, and you guys can really kind of come of it what you will after you watch that video. For me, um, wasn't looking too good. Wasn't looking too good. It doesn't mean that, Chris Tucker per se, did anything. I don't know. I hope not. Hi, well, you're welcome. You're new here, but you're very welcome. Like I say, you guys check out the live chat after the streams. You guys can check it out. But all is welcome. But I was just saying that, after you guys, if you haven't already, if you did, then, I'm sure you came up with your own conclusions, or you're still gathering the facts, which I think is smart, to come up with your own conclusions. But for me, after I saw that, I watched, because it's a reaction video. It's me reacting to Chris Tucker responding to Cat Williams' comments, because Chris Tucker's name was mentioned, and I even gave him a benefit of the doubt. I said, well, just because the media's claiming, because we know sometimes fake news, just because the media is claiming that his name was mentioned on the list, it doesn't mean that it actually was. None of us could actually see the list, right? We're just going by what they say they saw that's on there. But in that video, you guys really can kind of make of it what you will. In that video, Chris Tucker, he does say that he knew him. He did fly on the plane, but it was supposed to have been for a humanitarian trip, which would be good, right? A humanitarian trip to Africa. But for me, like I say, it was two things that kind of like bothered. It didn't like really sit well with me. Was the fact of who was on the plane, the group that was on that plane was, if I'm not mistaken, was listed was Kevin Spacey, who I've already talked about, right? With 15 counts. You got Bill Clinton on there, and Chris Tucker, and they are flying for this humanitarian trip. Now, I'm not going to say always that birds of a feather flock together, but typically, it's not going to be too far off. That's just what I think. It's not going to be too far off. So, but yeah, you guys watch that video. Let me know what you guys think of it. But the second thing that I didn't like about it was I found that Chris Tucker seemed to do a lot of laughing. Now, it could have been a nervous laughter, because I get it. Like, it is a heavier type of, like, I don't think anybody would want to be associated with Epstein or the island or any of that stuff. So I get if it's probably like a more nervous, right? Because we all kind of, maybe we fidget a little bit, or we do certain things when we're a little bit more nervous. But he was like laughing through, like, I'm missing the funny part. Like, nothing's funny. Like, he was like, oh yeah, oh yeah, I knew him. Oh yeah, no. Like, he was like laughing through it. So that, like I said, kind of rubbed me the wrong way. It didn't quite seem too. But the laughter, and then, like I say, who he flew with, the three of them, minus Chris Tucker. Well, I should say the other. No, because it actually was four of them if you count Epstein. But if you're looking at Kevin Spacey, and you guys can look up Kevin Spacey's stuff. You got Kevin Spacey, Clinton, Epstein. It's not looking like a good clique. It's not looking like a good crew. Doesn't mean that anything like happened beyond that, but just based off of like the characters that were flying, now it's not looking too good. Not looking too good. And like I say, I did have that split moment. Not gonna lie, I did have that split moment of like, do I post this? Do I not post this? I don't know. Um, because not just on YouTube, but as well as on TikTok, a lot of my content that has gone viral has been Chris Tucker, Michael Jackson, but it's been a lot of like Chris Tucker content. But I think it would not be right to not post, to choose not to like cover something just because of my own interest or my own like for a particular celebrity. But I think, unfortunately, a lot of times, more often than not, that we do that. If we like a celebrity, we feel, maybe we've attended, if they've done concerts, maybe we've attended the concerts, maybe we have, um, whatever. We have all their movies, we know their interviews, we feel like we know their lives. So the moment that we hear something negative about them, we don't want to hear it. Or we're like, oh no, we dismiss it and we just don't want to like hear anything that kind of goes against the grain of like what we know or what we feel we've come to know. And to me personally, I'm not above it, but I had to kind of have that moment of like, let me check myself. Let me check. And no, I'm gonna cover this. So, but yeah, you guys. So what's the weather like where you guys are at? If you guys want to, even if you guys are not watching this live, that's cool too. But like, spam it down because some people, from what I understand, like it seems like it is freezing temperatures literally everywhere. No matter what state, city, wherever, like people seem like they're freezing everywhere. So I don't know. It'd be interesting just to see what you guys are dealing with. Well, but what else, you guys? What else did I want to cover? Oh yeah, I also wanted to cover Steve Harvey. I'm probably gonna have to not rewrite, but kind of, sort of, yeah, um, redo the thumbnail because some of the topics I'm covering I don't actually have in the thumbnail, you guys. But what about Steve Harvey? Now, with Steve Harvey, I have also been guilty of not really wanting to hear anything that was negative outside of like what I've known or understood Steve Harvey to be. I really like, and I still do. I still do like the fact that Steve Harvey wrote his "Act Like a Act Like a Woman, Think Like a Man" or whatever. I still like, regardless of whatever, regardless of his personal stuff or whatever. I still like that he wrote that because I do feel like, unfortunately, there are a lot of women, not women of color, not just women of color, but there's women that are, maybe grew up in single family households, whatever, and they just don't know. They haven't been able to connect the dots of the type of stuff that they should be looking for or how they should be, really like understanding relationships to be. So I said big ups to Steve Harvey for writing that book. I think that I thought that that was a really great thing that he did. A lot of critics on the other side that didn't care so much for the fact that that book was written by Steve. And they point out his own personal relationship with his present wife. But yeah, it's just so much, like I say, some of the stuff that might be new to me, you guys might have known about. Be new to me, you guys might have known about a minute ago. Because, like I said, Steve Harvey content that has gone, viral, done really well too. but I would also get the certain amount of like comments in the section where people would say, like Steve, whatever, he's fake, he's phony, he killed Bernie's career, and like, like say different things that I just, I always expect that with any, not just with celebrities, but like people, you're gonna have a certain amount of haters. Like you're doing well, or you are whatever, you're walking your truth, you're walking your path, you are successful, you're whatever, you're gonna have a certain amount of people that just will be whatever. They're gonna feel a certain type of way, envious, whatever. And I just felt that maybe that fell into the category for Steve Harvey. However, there has been the joke stealing with Mark Curry. Even Joe Rogan actually was talking about Mark Curry. Joe Rogan was talking about how talented Mark Curry is, and he never really had that opportunity. He did have the Hanging with Mr. Cooper show, but he never really had that opportunity to really kind of like, really reach that level like Steve Harvey did. So a lot of people say, well, Steve clearly over the years, I guess, because he has been, if you just really want to like measure it out, I guess you can say that Steve Harvey has been like a larger star, larger celebrity than Mark Curry. So he has had the opportunity to kind of like steal work. I hate to, say it that way, but I have a video where you guys can check out where it was like literally the same joke. And even though we might be looking at it as like beef amongst comedians and, like whatever, but literally if that's someone's livelihood, that's their main source of income, that's what they do, that's their creativity, and they take the time to create something, and then for someone just to be like sitting back watching and then like take the credit is not, it's not right. And it has gone against a lot of what we know Steve Harvey to kind of be. I've always thought of Steve Harvey as being kind of like upstanding. I think he's very funny. I like his delivery on his jokes and stuff like that. Different shows that he's hosted. So I was a little surprised, or a lot surprised, to find out that, it wasn't just like one joke that he took from Mark Curry. Like he took a lot of Mark Curry's material. And I actually believe it because I saw some of Mark Curry's stand up, and for like a split second, I'm like, that's Steve Harvey. But it's the opposite way around. It's Steve Harvey that has like stolen a lot of like Mark Curry's like swag almost. I don't know. It's just weird. But I'm like, I've seen that before, not necessarily the same joke, but I'm like, I've seen those gestures that, like delivery, but from Steve Harvey. That's weird. I'm like, I guess he has been like really studying Mark Curry or taking Mark Curry's material, because even like his flow, it looks like Steve Harvey, but it's the other way around. So it's like, I don't know, kind of creepy, kind of like bogus creepy. But there, people say that that's not what they know to be outside of Steve Harvey's character, because, whatever the rivalry that he had going on with Bernie Mac, and we know Bernie Mac was hysterical, so funny. That was just my own personal opinion, but I thought that he really was, as Cat Williams said, like the funniest, if you will, like he was the king of comedy. So funny. Oh, side story, you guys. Actually, I did have the opportunity to meet Bernie Mac before. And this was back in the day. And it was like, I guess it was like a book convention thing that I had gone to with my mom, with my family, and the special guest. And the room was not that big, but he was on stage. But his whole Kings of Comedy lineup, he did it right there on stage. So I was very lucky to like actually see him do his thing live. and I got a chance to like, to meet him, take a picture with him afterwards. So that's really cool too, with Bernie Mac. But yeah, so going back to Steve Harvey, turns out that Steve Harvey had like not Steve Harvey, Bernie Mac did a interview with a magazine. If you guys know what I'm talking about, then you guys could drop it down in the chat. Even if you aren't watching this live, you can still drop it down into the chat. But Bernie Mac did an interview. I don't know if it was with Esquire or some magazine, where he was like saying that, because we know that Bernie Mac, before he passed, he was starting to like get off into movies and stuff like that. But he said that, he was selected, he was cast, and how he found out, I don't know. But he says that Steve Harvey, after Bernie Mac was cast for the role on Ocean 11, which was a big one, right? I think it was alongside George Clooney and Matt Damon and whoever else was in that movie. But Steve Harvey actually went and like tried to like get his role, was saying that he felt he'd be a better fit, and was even saying that he would take the role for a lesser amount, which is just crazy. Steve Harvey says it isn't true, but that's what like Bernie Mac actually said himself. So I don't know, who, but I find it hard to believe that Bernie Mac would just make that up. And then just based off of what we know of Steve Harvey's reputation of like basically not having a problem with stealing people's work, no like kind of like feeling of like, oh, I don't want to take that man's creativity, I don't want to take his work. Like he had no problem with like, mine now, and like posting it onto his platforms. So I don't know. Like we don't really know. Steve Harvey says it isn't true. Bernie Mac put in his interview that that's what happened, but I'm inclined to believe that, maybe that did happen. Because if you don't have a problem with basically eating off of, just taking and eating off of Mark Curry's work, what makes it different with Bernie Mac? So I don't know, y'all. I don't know. But and I'm not even trying to make it sound like Steve Harvey's the worst man in the world, worst person in the world, but it just kind of goes back to my point of feeling like way too often what we do is we like really kind of, we set these celebrities at such a high pedestal that, we feel like there's nothing that, we want to hear in opposition of what we know their brand to be. And I'm not even going to say character, because it's really a brand. Once you, really kind of put yourself out there, then it really does become more like a brand, right? I would say only the people that really know you would know your personality. Everything else from there is like crafted. That's my personal, there's a few that are, claim to keep it real, but usually it's more of like a, it's a brand. So that the joke stealing, the stuff with Bernie Mac, does go against Steve Harvey's brand, I think. But it is what it is. It just is what it is, y'all. So I don't know. You guys leave your comments down on that. What do you guys think on that, on the Steve Harvey stuff? But like I say, to me, that's just a good reminder of like, at the end of the day, people are people. They're not going to be perfect. They're not going to be, so whatever. I think that now this is getting off into Bill Cosby a little bit, but it becomes almost like a lot of these celebrities, they built their brand. Bill Cosby was somebody who definitely, I think, celebrated in the Black community. He was, that like picture perfect dad that, a lot of single, people, black people from single family households were, never maybe experienced. And it would just seem like a very cohesive, very like, what am I trying to say? Balanced, non-toxic American dream type of like, black family, right? That maybe we had never seen before. But Bill Cosby had built his brand on that, meaning that even outside of his show, he still had to be that, upstanding. And it's good. I think like if you're trying to, if you're gonna pick any type of brand, why not pick one that's upstanding? Why not choose one that is on the, path of right, that's trying to, be upstanding and this and that. But that was Bill Cosby's like whole thing of still being Heathcliff Huxtable outside of the Cosby Show. And they say that's what what's her name? Uh, the one that was married to Lenny Kravitz. Really pretty, Lisa Bonet. They say that was Lisa Bonet's problem with, because she was in rivalry with Bill Cosby. They say that that was like one of her issues with it, was that she felt like she was not allowed to be herself outside of that show. Like that Bill Cosby wanted everyone to still kind of like remain in character outside of it. But as we know, that later kind of came to bite Bill Cosby in the butt, because very human, right? He's not Heathcliff Huxtable. He's Bill Cosby, who Hollywood, right? Entertainment. We're learning all about, Hollywood, how they get down in Hollywood and stuff. And it kind of came to like bite him in the butt. And it was a lot of people that like really did not want to accept that. Like, he didn't do that. Why would he? Now that I'm learning, and I was one of those people, so I'm not going to lie. Oh, excuse me, you guys. I was one of those people, not going to lie. Like, I felt like, it was a 50-50 that maybe he did do it, maybe he didn't. I was more inclined to think that he didn't. And that, ultimately, honestly, ultimately, like we still really kind of like don't know. Whether he, whatever, convicted, not convicted, it really doesn't matter. But I'm talking about like ultimately, we don't know. But just based off of what I'm learning about Hollywood and what goes on and like stuff that like people have to do to, remain relevant and all that kind of stuff, I'm not shocked if that was something that he actually did. But like I say, myself included, and I think that's where we kind of go wrong, where we really do not want to hear anything outside of like the brand that celebrities have built. Even the which was hilarious, you guys. If you guys did not check out my my leg. A leg that went numb, y'all. Oh, guess I've been sitting here for a little bit. Might almost be time to wrap this live up, y'all. My leg that went numb here, sitting here. But it's the same as like the live that I did yesterday. You guys can check it out if you guys have not already. But I had a Marcus Houston. I had a Marcus Houston impersonator in my live chat. And he was saying, like, take down your video, which was actually very funny. The one that I just posted yesterday that has talking about B2K and Chris Stokes and all that madness. But I'm guessing more than likely it was someone who's just a Marcus Houston fan. But a lot of times, like I say, as fans, we really like do not want to hear, accept, process anything outside of what we believe, these celebrities' brands, not character, but we believe their brands to be. Not character, but we believe their brands to be. And that is like, oh no, this is too much. I don't want to, but it is. It's something. It is. Like I almost and I did step away for it for a minute, and I kind of concentrated more on TikTok. But when I was uploading my content, I had my videos going and stuff, and I'm coming across a lot of stuff that goes against the grain of what I originally wanted to kind of carve this channel out to be. And I'm like, even for me, a lot of stuff was hard to process. I'm like, what in the heck? Because I'm reading and I'm finding out about all these different things that are really going on in Hollywood. Like even for me, it was a lot to process. I actually did step away from YouTube for a little bit. I went over to my TikTok, and I was on TikTok for a while. And then I'm really thinking to myself, like, what am I going to do with this channel? Because, I didn't feel comfortable enough to just post, which I had posted before. I think I was like, oh, Jay-Z and Beyonce's $200 million mansion. Oh, I don't know, but you guys get the point of what I'm saying. Like, I was posting very lightweight sort of topics, and I had to step away for a minute and just kind of like figure out process. And I'm like, what am I going to do with this channel? Because it seems wrong. It seems fake to just keep putting out that type of content, knowing that there's so many more layers to this stuff, and still kind of like celebrating these celebrities that really, in my eyes, really should not be celebrated. So what am I going to do with this channel? Like, I did have that thought process. Then I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. I'm just going to post, what it is. If people can get with it, they can get with it. If they can't, obviously there's other creators, there's other channels out there that is more aligned with what people are wanting to hear. But I'm like, I cannot only focus on your only spotlight all the great stuff when there's so much grimy stuff around. You know what I mean? So personally, I felt it was kind of like a responsibility that I had to do that. So anyway, but I think I will, maybe, you guys, I don't know, I might start doing polls, maybe, just to see the type of content that I should, maybe lean into more, if it was certain topics that you guys enjoyed and want to hear more about, or if I don't know, certain topics that maybe I can find a way to incorporate and weave into my present content. So I might start doing more polls into the community portion, so you guys can look out for that. And I might to start announcing when I'm going live, rather than just randomly popping on. But sometimes I don't know, what I'm gonna, when, to schedule, and I do just pop on. So, but yeah, you guys, I think I'm gonna kind of wrap this up. I might wrap this up. I'm gonna give my cup one more spotlight, y'all. I'm gonna give her one more spotlight before I end this live. But again, like I say, for those of you guys that did not join this live while it was live, do take a look. Toggle it over, and where's this chat? Toggle it over so you guys can see the actual live chat that I have, and you guys can just kind of go through it, because some of this live, you guys do see me reading and talking and having conversation with people in the chat. So shouts out to those of you guys that helped to make my live. Yep. So I will see you guys on the next live video. See you guys. Bye.